Expert dissects both campaigns for the presidency. And finally, a team of volunteers is pouring their efforts into helping sheltered dogs secure their forever homes. Canyons News starts now.
Live from Mentry Hall on the campus of College of the Canyons.
Came together to shed light on a deadly epidemic.
With news from across the Santa Clarita Valley.
And senseless tragedy.
Reporting live for Canyons News.
On 10 camera 5.
This is Canyons News.
Hello everyone and welcome to Canyons News. I'm Christian Sukic and here's the latest from the Canyons newsroom. Campus Safety is asking for the public's help in identifying a man who reportedly took video of a woman on campus in a restroom last week. A campus spokesperson says a student saw a man holding a phone under the wall of a stall she was using in the Aliso Lab Science Building. The woman confronted the student, who then ran away. The victim describes the suspect as 5'9", 160 to 170 pounds, and approximately 21 to 24 years in age. She says he wore black sweatpants, a black sweater, and had a hoodie covering his head. He was last seen in parking lot 13. If you had a similar incident or may have seen something, reach out to the campus switchboard or campus safety. Sad news to pass along. Former College of the Canyons board member Stephen Zimmer passed away on Saturday at the age of 77. Zimmer served on the board for 8 years representing Area 3. He was a real estate attorney and was the lead of the Newhall Land and Farming Company's ranch division. Zimmer was dedicated to community service and chaired the Santa Clarita Child and Family Center. Zimmer was also a key member of the College of the Canyons Foundation. His family says Zimmer passed away peacefully after a long battle of a rare brain disease. Election day is near and people all over the U.S. are turning in their ballots. Here in Santa Clarita, the race for COC's Board of Trustees is heating up. The Intercultural Center recently hosted a contentious Board of Trustees candidate forum. The panel gave their thoughts on some of the college's biggest issues, including the recent decision on student housing and the board's earlier decision this summer to put former Chancellor Diane Van Hook on administrative leave.
The problem at the college is not the faculty and the staff. I think it's transparency, and the transparency from this Board of Trustees.
We have legal advice, and it says, yes, you can say that. And in some cases, we would like nothing more than to share more with you.
Incumbent Jerry Danielson also offered his thoughts on the college's search for a new chancellor.
It has to be somebody obviously pro-education, pro-business, pro-community, somebody with the idea of forward-thinking, modernization, as I mentioned before, embracing new technologies, I think would be important to me.
Earlier this month, COC's Board of Trustees decided on returning state funding and overall ending the project for low-income housing on campus. Christopher Casey joins us live to tell us more.
Thanks, Christian. With many projects that COC has taken on for more than 50 years, one of their bigger projects, their low-income student housing, has been halted. I took a deeper look into the issue at hand to explain why the student project housing was killed. Community colleges in many areas could be a cheaper option for a path into secondary education. COC's student housing project that was meant to help low-income students that would be built in Lot 6 is now no longer. Earlier this month, the college's Board of Trustees announced their decision to return $62 million to the state. That money was originally intended to build housing for full-time low-income students.
Remember, we were given the grant for a grant we had been written in 2021. Lots changed since 2021, especially construction prices. So the cost of building the facility now would exceed the $61.8 million that they had given us.
At a board meeting, Jerry Danielson discussed the decision behind returning the funds.
If a student isn't full-time anymore, they would have had to have been full-time. If they're not full-time anymore, how do we deal with that? Maintenance issues like plumbing and electricity, all that kind of stuff plays into it. It was going to be way more money than you saw on paper.
While COC shared their reasons for returning the funds, COC's foundation members expressed frustration with the decision.
We have over 500 homeless students that go to College of the Canyons. That would have served 200 per year. We need to start now putting our money where our mouth is. We'll never see the $62 million. It's gone. The plane has left the terminal.
COC is looking for alternative solutions to help homeless students.
So we are just restarting. Years ago, we had our homelessness task force. We've decided we want to bring it back, and we're calling it affordable student housing. And we're going to focus on what can we do for our students for housing? What are those objectives that our students want us to do? And so I've thrown out some of the ideas that we already have, but we want to hear from the campus community as a whole. What's out there that we haven't even thought of? And so we definitely want everybody's voice there.
With the reintroduction of the Homeless Task Force and it coming back into action to help many low-income students, we'll have to see what is in store for them. Christopher Casey for Canyons News, back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Chris. COC's Elisa Hall welcomed Assemblywoman Pilar Chavo as she presented a large check to the college. The $1 million check went into the college's nursing program. The funds from the state helps facilitate new simulation-based training and training on patient care and emergency staff for students of the college.
We know that we have a nursing shortage. We know that we need to create a better pipeline into healthcare positions. And, programs like this at COC are critical. They're the front lines of doing that. And so when we hear about nursing shortages, we have to make the investment to make sure that we are addressing that need in our community. And that's what this program can help do.
We are just under 1 week away from Election Day. Canyons News reporter Eli Kern is releasing an interview series with the COC political science professor. In each episode, Eli and his guest are analyzing some of the most important issues in the upcoming presidential race.
Welcome to part 1 of the Canyons News election series. Today's topic of discussion is the economy. Let's meet our guest.
I have a PhD in political science from UCLA. I taught at UCLA, I taught at Pepperdine, and then got hired here. And I love teaching here at College of the Canyons. My area of specialties is American politics, the media, elections, and public opinion.
So I wanted to start with what was by far the most popular on both sides. This was 81% of total voters, 68% of Harris voters, and 93% of Trump voters. Everyone seems to be concerned about the economy. From my research, it looks like what Harris's platform is kind of going for is the child tax credit being bumped up from $2,000 to $6,000 in the first year, stuff like the corporate tax going up from 21% to 28%. And then, of course, one of the big headline grabbers is the unrealized capital gains tax that has been proposed for people with over $100 million in wealth. I'm curious what your read on those are.
There's a bunch of people who are going to vote for Kamala Harris no matter what. There's a whole bunch of people who are going to vote for former President Trump no matter what. It's going to be those people in the middle who are going to ultimately determine the outcome of the election. As a matter of fact, it's going to be the people in the middle in 7 particular states who are going to determine the outcome of the election. And so one of the things I think both campaigns are trying to do is sort of say who's to blame for this pain that you're feeling. And I think very much what the Harris campaign is trying to do is say, this is our plan for the future. We're looking, her thing is a new way forward. So I think the Trump campaign wants to say the predicament you're in is her fault.
I was able to find some of those specific policies from the Harris side. A lot of the Trump campaign stuff seems to be kind of just inverses of that, wherever raising that corporate tax, Trump wants to bring it down. Trying to fight the prices at the grocery store, we're going to bring in tariffs. And so it seems like there's kind of a very just hardline opposite stance philosophically on how they feel like they're going to fix the economy. And so I guess that is one of those issues that it does kind of just come down to whichever side you personally feel like you're going to agree with.
Right, and I think that's absolutely right. And then when you think about each of those proposals, for your average political scientist, understanding the implications of unrealized gains on capital gains, quite frankly, I don't know, right? I have a sense of it, but I'm not an economist. I think one of the other challenges that's happening right now, and this is sort of what's going on with the Trump campaign, is that his advisors are begging him, talk about the economy. Focus on the economy. Every word out of your mouth should be about the economy and some of the other issues that I'm sure you want to talk about. And he's talking about Haitians eating cats and dogs. He's talking about mass deportation. He's talking about tariffs, right? He's talking about all kinds of other things. On the other hand, I think the Harris campaign doesn't want to talk about people's economic pain and suffering. They want to talk about the future.
Reporting for Canyons News, I'm Eli Kern.
As the election season draws to a close, incumbent Congressman Mike Garcia joined the COC Political Science Club for a Q&A. Students were given the opportunity to ask the Santa Clarita's local representative about abortion rights, global conflicts, and much more. Congressman Garcia answered questions and shared some of his own background growing up in the Santa Clarita Valley and serving in the United States Navy. The congressman left the Poli-Sci Club with one request: get out and vote. Garcia's opponent, George Whitesides, also made a visit to COC. Here's Brooklyn Stevenson with more on the event.
Recently, political candidate George Whitesides came to speak here at COC. This event was hosted by the Poli-Sci Club where all could attend. At this event, Whitesides mostly talked about his own personal agenda, but then one student's story sparked inspiration.
Went into the military, I got a GI Bill. And so they give you an extended amount of time that you need to finish it. And so when I wanted to continue my education to do my BA in the spring of 2025, they told me initially that it was going to expire in October of this year.
This story of retired veteran Araceli Jimenez inspired Whitesides to create a bill allowing retired veterans an extended period of time for educational benefits.
So to do that would help not only the employment, we can get the better jobs, and we can go for some of us have blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, or different jobs that we have, so we always want to better ourselves. And I know for me, I always want to better myself.
From Canyons News, I'm Brooklyn Stevenson.
A program at Hart High School aims to educate parents about drugs and their effects on the youth. Canyons News reporter Lysandra Vera has more.
Padres Unidos at Hart High School host educating workshops about drugs and mental health. With the rising concerns about youth substance use, Hart High School counselor Cristina Noriega says they offer hope for parents looking to safeguard their children's futures.
The more involved parents are, the less likely students will be to get involved in things like drugs and gangs, right?
According to KFF.org, teenagers may obtain drugs through social media, and these drugs are often contaminated with fentanyl.
So every time you go and you take a pill from the streets, you're playing Russian roulette. Not with one bullet, with two bullets, because you just don't know how much fentanyl is in those pills.
Recognizing the signs with open communication and a proactive approach can help guide kids towards healthier choices. As these meetings are only Spanish-based, it gives Spanish-speaking parents to grasp the given information.
It's important to provide parents with information in their own language because things are lost in translation. That's why I do the Padres Unidos. I don't want the translation. I just want it all in Spanish, in their language.
Saca mucho de las dudas que uno tiene. It takes away.
Leads the rate of pedestrian violence in America. Xander Grable takes a look at those in our community who want to spread awareness to a growing threat.
25-miler finishing the ride.
California has one of the highest rates of pedestrian vehicle accidents in the United States. Because of this, citizens have decided to take matters into their own hands by teaching others about the importance of motor and pedestrian safety. One of these citizens, Damian Kevitt, a victim who was involved in a hit-and-run case while biking in Griffith Park, decided to start Streets Are For Everyone.
Streets Are For Everyone is a nonprofit that works on road safety for all road users. So we work on legislation, getting bills passed in Sacramento that would make roads safer, that help encourage safer driving behaviors. We also do victim support services. So we help victims of traffic violence get back on their feet after they've lost or after they've been hit, or if they've lost a loved one, to help them get back on their feet.
While many people come for the medals at the end of the race, one longtime participant attends to show that even while paralyzed, he still has what it takes to finish the ride.
I learned to ride a skateboard on my knees. I got a spinal cord injury. I was stabbed in the back, and my spinal
cord was cut. I used to be a cross-country runner, so once I figured out how to skateboard, I seen how much cardio it takes, and I started riding my board like a couple miles a day just for cardio.
But Jesse isn't alone in his skating adventures. In many cases, he is accompanied by his partner in crime, Rose.
I brought my dog this time just because I was supposed to join the puppy run, but I thought the puppy run was in grass, so I signed up for the 5K with her. She's done a 5K before with me. She's been on Animal Planet. She's done a lot of runs with me.
And although Jesse wasn't impaired due to a pedestrian vehicle accident, he has the same message that everyone in attendance was trying to convey. To keep Santa Clarita safe, be mindful of others on the road. Xander Grable, reporting for Canyons News.
There's a new face at COC. Students got a warm welcome from their new interim president, David Andress, at today's meet and greet event on campus. Students gathered at the Intercultural Center to meet the new president, who stopped into his new role this past summer. Andress shared smiles with students and spent time answering questions. He says his aim to connect with the campus community and understands the needs of the experiences of COC students. Andress revealed he is ready to be hands-on and is eager to get to know the students.
Since I've been in this position now for about 3.5 months, and they thought it would be a good opportunity now that some time has gone by for people either on campus or from the community to come and meet with me and get to know me a little bit and just, you know, have a sense of access to the office of the presidency.
News, a COC athlete tells her story about how she swings past her obstacles to stay on course. And we take a look at how our local sheriff's station is delivering thrills and chills for the community during the scariest time of the year. Terry Collier will be taking over after the break. Stay tuned.
The problem at the college is not the faculty and the staff.
College of the Canyons creates possibilities.
It's a gateway to opportunities.
A place where students learn they can believe in themselves.
Behind every possibility at College of the Canyons are the people.
Together we focus on achieving success, one student at a time.
That focus is a reflection of what we value.
It defines who we are.
We are. We are.
We are College of the Canyons.
Welcome back to Canyons News. I'm Terry Collier, and here's the latest from the Canyons newsroom. Bringing life to Santa Clarita's trails, the Wildland Weed Warriors are on a mission to pull weeds and plant hope. Canyons News reporter Julianne Lena has more.
At the Ellesmere Canyon Trail, a team of volunteers is hard at work. Digging holes and beating soil may seem like a simple task, but for Mary Hare, it's part of a much larger mission.
We don't need to put any dirt in here because the cage is right up against that.
Perfect.
So, nice.
Mary's the head coordinator of the Wildland Weed Warriors, an organization that runs entirely on the passion and hard work of volunteers. By removing weeds and planting native greenery, they're not only making the community more beautiful, but they're also providing essential habitats for local wildlife.
You don't have these, and you don't have the insects, and you don't have the birds, you don't have and the whole ecosystem kind of falls apart. Wildland up there with the Andress National Forest, urban behind me with the freeway, and in between weeds. But if we can take those weeds out and make it more forest, then we have reclaimed some of the land again.
With determination and a pair of gardening gloves, she's pulling weeds and planting hope. Mary imagines spaces where people no longer have to walk through an ocean of weeds, but instead along trails adorned with beautiful native flora.
So when the plants get big enough and the weeds go low enough, we just walk away. And you hopefully will have a beautiful piece of land there that looks like what native California chaparral should look like. We're not just planting for fun.
Reporting for Canyons News, I'm Julianne Lena.
Because
the American Cancer Society hosts a unique gathering to honor the special bond between pets and those affected by cancer. Natalie Merchant brings us more on how these furry friends are bringing comfort in the hardest times.
Here's Brad. The American Cancer Society acknowledges the role of dogs as caregivers, but they're not allowed at larger events like Relay for Life. Bark for Life was created to celebrate these dedicated dogs alongside the courage of cancer patients. Pet lovers, families, and cancer survivors gathered at Bark for Life. From spooky costume contests to obstacle courses, the day was filled with joy for both the pets and their owners.
To the back, she's got her hands
But for many, like Laura Peach, this event is deeply personal. Both of Laura's in-laws passed away from cancer, and as a cancer survivor herself, she says that dogs, in a way, speed up the healing process.
The costumes, the dogs, I love looking at all the dogs come running around and everything. It's just a lot of fun.
Laura shares that this event is more than just dressing up dogs. It's about the comfort and joy they bring to cancer patients, just like how her own dog supported her through her journey. The happiness dogs can bring us reminds us that even in people's darkest moments, there's still light.
Well, everybody loves dogs. Everybody hates cancer.
All proceeds from Bark for Life go towards supporting cancer patients and funding research through the American Cancer Society, making a real difference for people like Laura.
I think dogs have such an important role in our lives.
So, whether you're a dog lover, a survivor, or simply someone inspired by stories like Laura's, Bark for Life is a celebration of resilience and the healing dogs bring to those facing cancer. This has been Natalie Merchant reporting.
Love can be a four-legged word, and because of that, there are some among us who are willing to go fetch some time to do a good deed.
You are so pretty. You look like you have eyeliner on.
Those pretty four-legged creatures can drool, sneeze, expose their bellies in the cutest way. Good dogs deserve good deeds. And there are some among us that make it their mission to do good. Fortunately, there are very special people who dedicate their time to helping thousands of abandoned furry creatures find their forever homes.
I love finding them great homes, and it's a lot of fun to work with the volunteers that they're doing this. They're volunteering their free time to help find animals, and I'm loving this.
People are looking for ways to give back and meet fun people.
I saw some volunteers at an event in their red shirts, and they looked like they were having fun, and I said, I need to join that group. They're having fun.
These pet adoption events are a crucial part of the strategy of getting these wonderful animals seen. We have volunteers that are working at the center to bring the animals to the event, and also working with the public to help introduce the pets to families. There's also a group of volunteers that are working really hard behind the scenes, promoting these events as well as promoting these animals.
Oh, social media is so important now. Everyone's on social media, and you know, we've got a great team of volunteers that create reels on our animals.
The first 2 seconds of a reel, something needs to change.
Oh, aren't you pretty here?
Great photos are so helpful in getting pets adopted. Although volunteers say some days are harder than others, they will continue to bring their smiles, warmth, and hearts to the Animal Care Center until every dog finds a home. According to LA County Animal Control, over the past several years, approximately 233,000 animals have come into LA County shelters and approximately 153,000 are adopted. Please visit the LA County Animal Control's website to find out about different ways that you can donate or volunteer. Halloween is tomorrow, and while most people decorate their house in the spirit of the holiday, one man makes it his yearly mission to turn his house into a festive nighttime realm. Canyons News reporter Maya Paragas tells us more.
As Halloween creeps closer, one local resident has transformed their home into a spooky yet family-friendly attraction. Alan Baxter, a resident of Santa Clarita, is the mastermind behind Bar Harbor Scares, a home haunt walkthrough. This year marks the 5th time Baxter has created an immersive experience, which all began thanks to his daughter, Grace.
She kind of gave me the go-ahead, and she said, you know, I want something a little more scary. I want to do, you know, why I can walk through. And so when she said that, it got me really excited.
Wanting to give his daughter the full thrill of a maze without overwhelming fear, Baxter designed a home haunted that's both fun and spooky for families to enjoy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little haunty places you can go to over here, and this one was really fun. They got me to jump like 4 different times.
His aim for visitors of Bar Harbor Scares to leave with a positive Halloween memories and a newfound confidence in navigating mazes.
Had good little jump scares, which is good for if you have
like you're not
kids.
Expecting anything,
and also if you have little kids too.
Inspired by his own childhood as an 80s kid, Baxter hopes to create the nostalgic Halloween magic for today's generation.
Why I keep going back to it is maybe it's nostalgia, like capturing a slice of my childhood, and I wanted to share that experience with my daughter.
Now, a seasoned veteran, Baxter dedicates this one holiday to bring everyone together, even if it means getting their heart rate up a little bit. I'm Maya Paragas for Canyons News.
It's that time of year to put on your fishnets and do the time warp, because the Rocky Horror Picture Show is coming to SCV. Reporter Victoria Suarez is at the Aquatic Center to tell us more.
Thanks, Terry. You may have seen a midnight production of Rocky Horror in the city, but have you seen it close to home? Thanks to the unconventional conventionalist, you can. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is a cult classic loved by many horror fans alike. Shadow casting has been a thing for 40 years all over the world. Now, it's time to bring Rocky to SCV.
This Rocky Horror production is really all about bringing it to the community. It's a show that is so normally in downtown LA or in bigger areas than Santa Clarita, so it's about bringing a show that has such a large following to a community that hasn't seen it in the area in a very long time, if ever.
The theatrical group, the Unconventional Conventionalists, have been running this immersive show for 3 years now. The show is presented at the Center, October 25th through the 27th. Fans are encouraged to grab prop bags and dress up for this classic event. First-timers are brought up on stage for some fun and a quick initiation. Rocky Horror has always been near and dear to many people's hearts. The movie is a symbol of body expression and acceptance of sexuality. Many horror fans gather around this time of year to celebrate everyone's differences by doing the time warp and shouting at the actors.
Rocky Horror for me has always just represented expression, and that's what a lot of people find such a brilliant community in.
The show is annual and has a rotating cast. Even fans can join the cast by directly messaging the theater group on Instagram for an audition. No acting experience is needed.
Come see the Rocky Horror Picture Show featuring the Unconventional Conventionalist Shadow Cast at the Center this October. Follow us at Rocky Horror SCV on Instagram and Facebook to keep up with more shows and events that will be coming soon.
See the Rocky Horror production next year at the Center. I'm Vic Suarez for Canyons News. Back to you.
Thanks, Vic. It's not often locals want to visit the Jailhouse, but over the weekend there was a spooky reason to do just that. The sheriff's station transformed into a Halloween attraction overnight. We go to Canyons News reporter Meg Hall for more.
I'm gonna try to get the beanbag into the hole, okay? You wanna try?
Costumes and candy at the sheriff's station means that the haunted jailhouse is back. For
over 30 years in running, it's been a favorite among city traditions, featuring a haunted-themed maze, costume contests, and even a dunk tank. But among the spooky activities, the station offered a variety of booths in hopes to interest and educate families about what's new in the community.
It can move up and down, side to side.
And the many groups of law enforcement.
We've got some of our Explorer recruits here helping out as well, our volunteers, our search and rescue, our deputy reservists.
All righty, I'm going to put this on. Just go ahead and step up on the other. We can bring them up and down, the rescuer and the victim. So today we're just doing a fun zip line for the kids.
According to the station, it's moments like these that keep a positive connection between the community and the sheriff's department.
We don't always get to interact with people on a great day for them, so to have this opportunity to come out and do that on a day that's fun, family-oriented, and really just kind of hospitality forward, we're grateful. And it provides a touch point for the community.
The juice is loose. Don't forget to get some candy.
To come into our station and kind of get to know us a little bit and get to know some of the tools and resources that we have available.
Good choice. Thank you.
For Canyons News, I'm Meg Hall.
A graffiti artist has started putting up horror icon murals around the Santa Clarita Valley. While some local residents embrace and celebrate its Halloween spirit, the city disagrees. Canyons News reporter Landon Arturo has more on the story.
Halloween is right around the corner, and for this past month of October, it has not been too shy about it. A local wall here in Santa Clarita, located near the Iron Horse Trail Bridge in the Promenade Town Center apartments, has become the center of attention due to a Halloween-themed graffiti war between graffiti artist Sleprock and Santa Clarita's very own graffiti removal task force. The wall currently has been hit not once, twice, or even 3 times, but 4 separate occasions. The widespread popularity of Sleprock and their graffiti is thanks to Instagram accounts like What's Up SCV, which posted the first widespread image on October 6th, featuring a large portrait of the horror icon Pennywise the Clown from Stephen King's It. Public reception to the wall and its recent graffiti has been mixed, with many Santa Clarita Valley residents being for it, stating it's tasteful and fits the Halloween season well, while others condemn the artist for vandalizing public property. Canyons News talks to Tracy Sullivan, the community preservation manager for the city of Santa Clarita, about the dangers that can come with graffiti vandalism.
So we should discourage graffiti and unsanctioned art, mainly, well, there's multiple reasons, but one of the most important reasons is because it invites crime in our community, and that's something that we want to fight against. And when we allow graffiti to sit there, it will proliferate and invite further criminal activity, and that's something that the city really prioritizes to keep a safe community. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is that graffiti tends to decrease property values, and also not a willingness to do business in the city. People aren't going to want to come to the city of Santa Clarita if it's tainted with a ton of graffiti around it.
With the Halloween season right about ending and the smell of fresh paint starting to fade away, one can only wonder what's next for the most popular wall in Santa Clarita. For Canyons News, I'm Landon Artero.
The College of the Canyons homecoming celebration brought the campus and community together on October 17th at Cougar Stadium. Even with a close game that resulted in a 27-26 loss for COC, the campus community showed up for the many pre-game festivities that brought together everyone. Canyons News reporter Andrew Fabella tells us more.
The COC homecoming game kicked off this past Thursday on October 17th with fun, festivities, and school spirit.
It's about bringing everybody together.
Jesse Munoz, Sports Information Director for COC Athletics, says that the event has always been a place where the community and school can come together for an eventful night.
Homecoming is one of our favorite traditions here at College of the Canyons. You know, it's a partnership between COC Athletics, COC ASG, and Campus Life, and really it's just a coming together of the campus community. At a football game, we try to bring out the community, try and get everyone excited.
Various departments of COC, clubs, and community volunteers showed out on homecoming night to support the Cougars before their game with El Camino College.
Would you guys like shirts? We got shirts, right?
Oh, I'll take one.
Sherry Howard, a longtime COC volunteer, says that it's always been a blessing to see students and families come to these events, much like the homecoming game.
There's a lot of energy right now. Everybody is hyped up because our team has been doing great all season. This game for homecoming, we hope to get another victory. And at the end of the day, it's a celebration with the luau for COC. The smiles, them enjoying the games that we have here, all the fun, the food. That's why it's called homecoming.
Many like Jesse Munoz note that homecoming is an event where everyone in the community is welcome, no matter where they come from, to support the college over food, games, and an energetic game of football.
As long as I'm here and as long as the committee goes for it, I mean, I'd love to see this be an annual thing.
For Canyons News, I'm Andrew Fabella.
There are many COC students who have a great talent, but an ever greater drive. Canyons News reporter Emily Viramontes tells us more about a student with a stroke of luck.
Ooh. It is believed that a legacy might be emerging on the COC campus, even if she herself does not believe it.
I don't think I'm a good golfer. So when I was 12, I went to the golf range with my family, and yeah, at the time I grabbed the golf club for the first time.
And since then, Saya Kitabatake from Japan has done whatever she can to fulfill her lifelong dream.
I want to be a professional golfer someday.
This journey has not been easy for her as she has fought many battles. She was able to reach out to a friend to help her get back on course.
I was about to quit golf last year. At the time, I called her and I talked about it because she's a sports agent. So I asked her for advice. And then she introduced Gary to me.
Even when she is under the weather, she still performs like a professional, as she achieved runner-up during one of the recent tournaments.
I just couldn't focus on my golf because I didn't know at the time, but yeah, like when I back home, I had fevers.
Saya tries to stay positive no matter the challenge.
Mentality and like mind are very important for golf, and golf takes place over a long period of time. So I think the result will change greatly depending on the mentality.
For Canyons News, I'm Emily Viramontes.
Earlier today, Saya Kitabake was named the Western State Conference Player of the Year. 5 previous times the COC men's cross-country team won the state conference title, but never the women, until now. The COC women officially made history in Oxnard this past Friday, winning its first conference crown. Canyons took the title ahead of the runner-up Allen Hancock and Moorpark College. The WSC meet was the first event in several weeks that the team was fully healthy. Freshman Victoria Jamerson was the Cougars' top individual finisher in 4th, while 5 others wound up in the top 30. For the next Canyons is the SoCal Champs on November 8th, with an eye towards qualifying for the state later in the month. The Los Angeles Kings went down to the Cube, hosted an event where girls were introduced to the sport of hockey. The afternoon was filled with various activities for the little ones who got the opportunity to meet a professional women's hockey player. Christian Sukic brings us along to the action-packed day.
Earlier this month, the Cube Ice and Entertainment Center, in partnership with the Los Angeles Kings, hosted Girls Try Hockey for Free Day, an event designed to introduce the sport of hockey to young girls of the ages of 5 to 9 years old. The afternoon was filled with various activities for the little girls.
Over here, we've got our sticks, we've got crowns.
They got to decorate mini hockey sticks and crowns, played some rounds of ball hockey, and even learned how to skate.
One more. Oh, that's a hat trick.
Alongside many locals in attendance, such as the Santa Clarita Flyers Hockey Club, even LA's very own Chelsea Goldberg, who is a professional women's hockey player, joined in to keep the games fun and competitive.
Oh, that's a good goal. This is what it's all about. At the end of the day, I really want to give back to hockey, what's given me so much. Growing up, I grew up playing with my twin brother and the boys. That was what I had growing up. So to see almost 100 girls come out and supporting the game, playing the game, is a huge growth from what I grew up playing with. So it's incredible.
Girls Try Hockey for Free Day saw almost 100 young girls sign up to play. But to Chelsea, this means more than just the sport.
For me, I love to see the growth from where it started when I was growing up playing till now, but more importantly, to expose the game to people that may have never been exposed before. I know we had a lot of newcomers here. For us, that's why we're here, and we love to be a part of the growth of the game in Southern California.
For Canyons News, I'm Christian Sukich.
Well, that does it for this edition of Canyons News. I'm Terry Collier. Remember, you could catch us on the web at canyonsnews.com. You can also share news tips and story ideas with the Canyons News team by visiting our social media pages, subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Have a good night, everybody.